tragic either which way you look at it.
Both Ms. Ortega and Ms. Gitter described the problems that the community and advocates for people with psychiatric disabilities have encountered when trying to address these issues with the police. First, we'll hear Lisa Ortega, followed by Leah Gitter.
We have met with them. We met with Lieutenant Lyons from the actual 79th Precinct, which is the one that gave the order to taser Mr. Morales, who died. He met with us twice. We had community meetings. We've been to the precincts. And when they see large numbers of people, we go in there with large numbers of people and we hold our meetings, they yes us to death at the table. Yeah, this is a great idea. We need to try this. Let's give it a shot and present it to Kelly. The commissioner's the one that makes the decisions. Let's try it. And then when push came to shove and we had a roundtable discussion where we would show them exactly what it is, how a team is made up, no one showed up. They totally ignored the community and did not show up.
And it doesn't seem to move. It seems like every time you come up against the NYPD with a new idea, they have a template and they push back.
Right.
It could be any issue, whether it be different issues that they like quotas or search and inappropriate searches. Mm-hmm. Anytime facts come out that show that things need to change, the NYPD pushes back with these templates. And they did the same with the roundtable that RIPPD had. It was just an informational afternoon with people from Westchester explaining how well the program works. And the NYPD took it in a whole other direction. They go on the attack and say that, it's not legitimate and we're bashing them. And it has nothing to do with that. The CIT is really very widespread. They're having a conference in San Antonio in June with hundreds, if not thousands. I don't know how many people attend. Last time I think it was 800 who come and discuss this program and really know how much good it's doing, and they get together and they brainstorm. Right. So why the NYPD is so defensive about opening up to the community is hard to think. It's hard to understand. Nobody has to die at the hands of the police. Sure. And I think that that's the point we have to keep making, is that there's no excuse. If they were a parent and their child got killed, how would they feel in such a situation, especially when the person is not well?
The group is called RIPPD. That stands for Rights of Imprisoned People with Psychiatric Disabilities. And they will be having a rally tonight, Thursday, at 6 p.m. outside the 79th Precinct in Brooklyn. That's at 263 Tompkins Avenue in Brooklyn. The closest train is the G, as in girl, train at the Myrtle Willoughby stop. For more information, you can visit the group's website at www.rippd.org. That's R as in Roger, I as in P as in prison, P as in prison, D as in David.org, or call 646-260-6575. Also, the group meets on the first Monday of every month from noon to 2 p.m. at 123 William Street, 16th floor. Once again, the website is www.rippd.org. The phone is 646-260-6575. And they're having a community rally tonight at the 79th Precinct in Brooklyn at 263 Tompkins Avenue. Now, when I heard this story and I heard about the organization, it definitely resonated with me because I am a social worker and I worked in the shelter system, which has a large percentage of people who have been arrested, who have been diagnosed with a mental illness such as schizophrenia or bipolar disorder and have been incarcerated. There are programs that have tried to address this. There's a model program for the mentally ill homeless called The Bridge, which is located in New York City, and they offer clear solutions to the way in which we can deal with the mentally ill. The Bridge has residences which house approximately 20 people in an apartment building with an on-site case manager and social workers. They're required to attend the program at the Bridge 3 times a week, at which point they're going to meet with a psychiatrist who monitors and prescribes their medication, attends support groups, socialization programs as well, and meet with case managers on a regular basis so they can determine whether or not there's anything going on with the person that might be an indication of some kind of decompensation or lack of commitment to using their medication. Also, because a lot of the people are substance abusers, there are programs to address that as well. There's also individual apartments where they're visited daily by case managers. People coming out of the prison system with mental illness need this type of intervention so there won't be such a high rate of recidivism ending up with them going back and forth in and out of the system. The work of an organization like RIPPD and their encouragement for the NYPD to be trained in crisis intervention is key.
Amy, thank you very much for that story. But I wanted to make a point that stuck out to me while I was listening to it, which is that the group emphasizes not just that it's called, the crisis intervention team, but they emphasize that it's a community crisis intervention team.
Yes.
And so there's a sense in which they're emphasizing a almost like a most integrated setting version of this particular type of care. So rather than relying on either a sort of an institution type of thing that leads to sort of a warehousing phenomenon, that it's about keeping people in a sort of in the most integrated setting for people in this type of a crisis situation or in addressing these issues, because there definitely are a lot of people in the prison system who, I mean, it's almost like, we talk about the idea that certain types of institutions are almost like prisons, but in a weird way there are a lot of there's a phenomenon now where prisons are almost like becoming de facto mental health hospitals.
Yeah.
So
very much. Yes, that's a major problem, and it's definitely something that is, as you said, or as someone pointed out, it is more cost efficient to keep people in the community getting the help that they need than to pay for someone to be in prison.
Definitely, and I think it's great that the fact that the program RIPPD is having that event this evening, as Brendan said, for community involvement, because it's almost like what we talk about with this show, trying to get people more disabled aware. With this, they're trying to get people to understand what mental illness is about, because I'm sure a lot of the people that might attend that community event might have a family member with mental illness, or they might be an individual who heard about it on this show and want to find out more about mental illness, so they'll go to that. I think that's what we need to become a stronger, not only city, state, and country, but we need to understand everyone that's out there, whereas a lot of times these people were warehoused, as you mentioned, and kind of held from public view. Now that they're out in the public, we have to understand what everyone is going through out here to kind of, I think, become a better country.
And this kind of leads back into the name of our program, which is The Largest Minority. Our program has always been committed to cross-disability and having the strength of our numbers leveraged, because a disability really doesn't care whether you're black or white, whether you're a man or a woman, whether you're Jew, Gentile, atheist, Muslim, it doesn't really matter. Anybody can be disabled, and that's why we are the largest minority.
I think I just want to just briefly to we want to thank Lisa Ortega and Leah. I'm sorry,
Leah Gitter.
I'm sorry, yes.
Lisa
Ortega,
right.
from RIPPD. And again, that rally is tonight at 6 p.m. Outside of the 79th precinct. Can you remind us of the address again?
Yes,
for that?
It is outside the 79th precinct in Brooklyn, which is at 263 Tompkins Avenue. The closest subway stop is on the G as in girl train at the Myrtle Willoughby stop. And if you have any further questions or need information, Ms. Ortega usually answers this line, 646-260-6575.
Yeah. Right. So that's a contact number for her. But briefly before we go, because we are almost out of time, Amy, you have an announcement about another program that's going on.